Hi, I'm Crystal, and I'm the founder of Amazon Sellers Society. Welcome to The Peak, the first virtual and online summit for Amazon sellers based in the MENA region. In this session number 2 of The Peak, we're going to be discussing money back. Is Amazon taking your money? Is there a way for you to make sure that you are getting your money back from Amazon? One of my favorite tools to use on Amazon as a seller is SellerBoard. And we're going to be discussing money back with Christopher from SellerBoard. Hi, Christopher. Audio. I can hear you. Hi.
Hi, how you doing today, Crystal?
I'm doing fantastic. Very excited to have you. Thank you so much for being part of The Peak and for all the knowledge you're going to be imparting on everyone who's watching this.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here and really looking forward to talking about getting your money back from Amazon.
Yeah, money back. Is Amazon actually taking our money? Why do we need to get our money back?
Believe it or not, Amazon actually has human beings working for them, and human beings are known to be fallible. So there's different ways between A to Z where they don't automatically give you your money back because a human's at the controls. So we're going to talk about 5 different ways that we really have to keep an eye on this as Amazon sellers, and how SellerBoard can help you semi-automate and automate the process.
Perfect. We were discussing before we went live, when you start this business, you focus a lot on products, suppliers, shipping, listing, images, all of that. But then when you do launch your products, you need to manage your business. And this is why this is a very crucial session for anyone who is currently selling on Amazon or is going to sell on Amazon, because you need to have all the information in order to learn how to properly manage your business.
Absolutely. Every point, every percentage really is important when you're running any type of business. And in an Amazon business with advertising costs, if you're launching new products and just the everyday fixed cost of running a business, you have to make sure that every dollar counts. And so making sure that there's a systemized process for you to get the money back that's due to you from Amazon is extremely important.
For sure. Before we get started, everybody who's watching us, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button on YouTube and make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay till the end of the session so that you can ask Christopher any question that you like. Let's get started.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Crystal. Okay, can you see my screen, Crystal?
Not yet.
Okay. Here we go. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So today we're going to talk about getting your money back from Amazon. I'm Christopher McCamey, the Senior Marketing Advisor of SellerBoard, and I'm looking forward to talking to you today about this subject. So here's a testimonial, something that we love, and it just warms our cold hearts at SellerBoard when we get these. I just want to give you the proof of concept for this whole thing that we're going to talk about today. A happy SellerBoard customer said, "Enormous thank you for your new reports for finding where Amazon owes you money. I've had more than 500 euros back from them in the last few days after getting my VA to contact Amazon about the discrepancies. You guys rock beyond belief." So just wanted to start with, this is actually working for our customers as we speak.
Yeah.
It can work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what SellerBoard looks like, and what you want to do if you're a SellerBoard customer, if you're on a trial or a demo, is you want to go to the money back section in SellerBoard. And we're going to talk about 3 categories in the money back section and 2 more ways that you can get money back from Amazon. And when you actually go into the money back section of SellerBoard, where there's 3 different sections, there's lost and damage, there's returns, and there's FBA fee changes. And of course, these 3 categories can be done manually within Seller Central and going through and pulling reports and spending hours either with yourself or your virtual assistants to be able to take that data and create a case with customer support or seller support. But SellerBoard will do this for you automatically. So when you go to money back in SellerBoard and you go to the specific category, we're automatically going to show you how much money you're going to receive back, estimated based on the data that's already been aggregated. Okay, so the first section we're going to talk about today is lost and damaged inventory. So damaged inventory. Sometimes your inventory is damaged in the FBA warehouse. This might be falling off one of the conveyor belts that they have, or an employee at Amazon might just be having a bad day or working a double shift, and the things get spilled out everywhere. Maybe FedEx on the intake or whatever logistics system just drops it and breaks it, and it gets damaged. So damaged inventory is normally reimbursed within 30 days, either in the form of your products being stocked up in the individual ASIN or money back to your payout. But the problem is sometimes this doesn't happen automatically. So sellers have to ask the seller support for reimbursement. Misplaced inventory. So if you're selling a spatula, everyone likes to talk about spatulas. Sometimes if your spatulas are going in, the people at the FBA centers might actually put your spatulas in with the hand sanitizers, or they just put it in the wrong place, and then something happens and it just gets lost in the black void that can be these gigantic warehouses, and there's no inventory to be sold. So lost inventory is normally found within 25 days, and if it's not found, the inventory is reimbursed within 5 days. But the problem, sometimes this doesn't automatically happen either. So the same thing, sellers can ask seller support for the reimbursement. So as you can see, for this first category that we're talking about in our test account here, it can add up. It can add up quite a bit. This particular report that was run was $377.43. And that's not chump change. You know, that can add up over a year's time. So we usually and we usually recommend to run it depending on the size of your business. Maybe you'll run it once a month, maybe you'll run it once a quarter, maybe you'll run it every 6 months, just depending on the size of your business. And the nice thing is once you run the report within SellerBoard, you can download it into an Excel or CSV, and then we also offer a template that you're going to be able to send into seller support. So here's kind of what the report looks like in SellerBoard. It just kind of gives you a brief breakdown of what the product is, what's lost, damaged, reimbursed, missing, and it gives you how we got to the total. And we have a lot of things going on in our business every single day. So we already have written a template that you can use, and you just insert the correct ASIN, SKU, dates and transactions, and what you were hoping for once you do this, and what we see quite often, is a response from seller support telling you that they agree. They agree that you're owed money, and they're going to be sending money back on your next payout period. And this is kind of a celebration time. And I would recommend that you use the money you got back to go to Disney World. Everyone loves Disney World. Okay.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
The second thing we're going to talk about is customer returns. Another way you can get your money back. So basically, the way a normal return process works, customer initiates a return. This is scenario one. Amazon refunds the full price. Amazon charges the seller. The product arrives back in an FBA warehouse. Product is qualified as sellable or unsellable by the FBA team members at Amazon. And then your stock level is updated. So if it was 3 units, then you would see an additional 3 units brought back into your stock on Seller Central. Here's a second scenario. Customer doesn't send the unit back to Amazon. So they initiate the return. Amazon refunds the full price. Amazon charges the seller. Customer doesn't send the product back to Amazon in actuality. Amazon waits 45 days. Amazon charges the customer back, and then Amazon reimburses the seller. So it's a reversal reimbursement, and you would see that on your payout period.
Yep.
And then scenario number 3 is customer initiates return. Amazon refunds the full price. Amazon charges the seller. Customer doesn't send the product back to Amazon. Amazon waits 45 days. Amazon charges the seller, but Amazon doesn't reimburse the seller. So, of course, this is when we'd want to do the same thing, and we'd want to open a support ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And here's just an idea of how that would look if you use SellerBoard to do this process in an automated way. And it looks very similar to the last scenario that we went through. You would download your report, and then you would do your template into seller support. It looks like
Easy.
this. Very easy.
You've got everything.
Very easy.
Because a lot of people have the issue of, what should I say when I open a support ticket? Because it's such an automated system that you don't know what to say. So you've got it all there.
Right, and you really want to make sure that you're saying the right terminology for the seller support, because as we know, Amazon's a global company and they have people all over the world working for them, and there's certain terms that are universally recognized by everybody. So that's what we're kind of trying to do to help the customers and of SellerBoard just be able to get the efficient results so they can get their money back, so they can go to Disney World. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Again.
FBA fee changes is the third way that we have to look at to make sure that we get our money back from Amazon. So an FBA fee change can be, there can be a change without any notification. So you don't even know that it's kind of happening. So sometimes your products might be changed from a 12 ounce, let's say, to a 16 ounce product. And this can make a significant difference in the way that the fees work for shipping and for commissions and whatnot within your payout report. So that can happen. Also, allegedly, sometimes there'll be some bad players that will actually be your competitors and go in and change the measurements on your product. Mm-hmm. And this can be a way to gain a competitive advantage. And so you can request, if you know that this is happening, you can request a remeasurement and you can get reimbursed if there was, in fact, an error within 30 days. So similar thing here, Crystal, we've seen this before. Going into the money back section, if we're going to use SellerBoard for this, we're going to go to FBA fee changes. We're going to download the report. We're going to contact seller support with the template that we provide you. See here, very easy. And we're going to use that money that we got back to either improve our business, or we can go to Disney World and buy.
Go to Disney World.
Yeah, 100 balloons. All right. So the fourth thing we're going to talk about is inbound shipment errors. So this is actually very common, especially during Q4, when you're sending in mass amounts of inventory and Amazon is at capacity and they're allocating their resources across their team to handle basically inbound shipments. Okay, so this is actually found in a different section of SellerBoard. This is actually found in the alerts section of SellerBoard. And we have all sorts of different alerts, but we're going to talk about inbound shipping errors. So if you're sending in X amount of black gift boxes, let's say it's 100, but then Amazon is only recognizing 65, that's a problem. That's a big problem. And if you have all your documentation in order to show them that you in fact sent 100 in, then you need to get reimbursed for the 35 that were either lost, or they're going to be able to find those 35 units and correct the situation. So what you want to do is you want to check the inbound shipment amount sent versus the amount received. You can request a reimbursement within 60 days to get the money back if it is lost, or they will add it back to your stock level. And you can open a case with seller support and outline the issue and steps to resolution. Sounds familiar, right? It's the same similar thing with all these different fees that we're trying to get back. And of course, once we get those fees and those money back, you know, we work hard, Crystal, and we got to go take the money and go to Disney World, see some fireworks. Okay, category change. This is another thing. Sometimes as Amazon businesses and brands and sellers, we'll see an erroneous category change. So Amazon will change your category for no apparent reason. Yeah,
this has been happening actually lately sure.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating because category changes can increase your fee commission percentage, it can also hurt your PPC conversions and your sponsored ad conversions.
100%.
And hurt organic keyword search traffic. If you're selling a portable fan that plugs into your computer with a USB cable, and it's in bath and body, or it's in personal care, or however it is in the different region, it's just not going to recognize those keywords the same. And it's going to basically lead to you losing money for these different things that we're talking about. So see a little smiley face. That guy's happy. That guy had his coffee. So we're going to, in SellerBoard, to figure out if this has been happening. We're going to go to alerts. And originally, to set this up, you're going to be able to select a notification in SellerBoard or a notification by email. So if you're not wanting to go into SellerBoard every day, maybe you are at Disney World, but if something happens like a category change, it's going to affect your payout enough that you want to see an email, at least at the very least. So an email would come in like this if you selected that option, because we kind of went through the other option in the last category. And it would just show you that your virtual reality Google Cardboard glasses had an issue and it was changed into a different category that was inappropriate. So then you would know it's time to open a ticket with Amazon and see if there's any money that was erroneously charged in a different category for a higher percentage.
Yeah.
So
just to make it clear, this is not something that Amazon is going to notify you of.
Correct.
They're not going to tell you, well, they owe you money. They're not going to tell you they changed the category or the fees or anything. They're just going to make the changes, and you're going to have to, or maybe you find out later on, or you need an alert system.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amazon's got a billion things going on, and a lot of times Amazon doesn't. Huge platform. We all love it, but Amazon doesn't even consider like $1 billion company something that's going to really change the metrics on their system. So most of us aren't running $1 billion companies. We aspire to it maybe one day, but that's why we need a category alert change, as to your point, because Amazon's not going to alert us if there's a mistake that's happening that affects our business within their infrastructure. Yes. So like we said, check the category alert in SellerBoard or via the email, and you can request a reimbursement within 60 days. We're going to open a case again with seller support, outline the issue and steps to resolution. Remember, somebody is on the other end of that ticket. Be friendly with them. Mm-hmm. Be nice. We're human beings. Let's all be nice to each other. It's been a hard year, and put those professional terms in there. And a lot of times it's a one and done, and they'll actually get your money back if there's any issues. And then we can take the money we got and we can go to Disney World and look at the spectacular.
Where we're gonna go.
Yeah. So the summary today, we talked about getting your money back from Amazon in the following categories: lost and damaged inventory, returns that didn't arrive, from the FBA fees being too high, from wrong product dimensions or wrong weight, inbound shipment errors, and category alerts. And just as a reminder, SellerBoard is a software and mobile application with profit analytics, inventory management, advertising optimization, listing change alerts, scheduled customer messaging, request to review automation, and money back made easy for your Amazon-based businesses. We got plans starting at $15 a month. And SellerBoard is generally the most affordably effective tool for Amazon sellers of all sizes. So there's a bonus for everybody watching today: 2-month free trial at SellerBoard.com. If you register at SellerBoard.com, you write "The Peak" into the chat box. There's no credit card required, which I really like that. And we just asked you to join the thousands of satisfied SellerBoard customers. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Christopher. And thank you for the whole team for this generous 2-month trial. I really didn't know about it. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Let's get started with everybody's questions. So if you're watching us live and you want to ask Christopher a question, any question related to SellerBoard or otherwise, because Christopher is an Amazon seller, first of all, make sure that you thumbs up the video and type in your comments so we can go through them. But first of all, I want to ask one question that I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about, Christopher. SellerBoard, which Amazon marketplaces? Because as you know, Amazon UAE and Amazon KSA are brand new marketplaces. Not a lot of tools are actually functioning on these marketplaces. So where can I use SellerBoard?
Right. Yeah, no, it's a great question. So I actually did run a 7-figure Amazon business, and I had some wonderful partners, and we just recently sold that back in August. And we actually were selling on 7 different marketplaces in Amazon. We really felt that was a great thing to diversify. And one of the things that we had a hard time with in some of the pieces of software that we were using, they were great pieces of software, but a lot of them did not offer that multi-country interface where we could go from the UK to the US, or we'd look at Germany and look at Canada. It was kind of a complicated hodgepodge to make that work, or it caused additional expenses. So SellerBoard does support the different regions, and it's very easy to flip back and forth between one region to the other. They also take into consideration things like VAT. They also take into consideration things like currency conversion. And when we're trying to look at what's going on today in my business, those things are really difficult to try to keep up with manually, especially if you're on, 3 or 4 different currencies when you're selling on Amazon. So that's one of the things that really drew me to SellerBoard. I started using it during the transition process once our company was bought. And I said, where have you been my last 7 years of my life? So that was one of the things we really enjoyed about it. We do support the different regions on Amazon.
And you are available for Amazon Middle East.
This is my first month, and as far as I know, we are. I'll double check that.
Yeah, you are. Okay. I'm telling you, you are.
Yeah, it's a little bit early here in the DC area, so my brain's not firing in all cylinders. So yes, I just wanted to double check, but Crystal can attest we are available on the UAE.
Yes, available, very much available. A question. Why am I not able to put the question up? Okay, so a question from Bayan, and I'm sure a lot of people are thinking the same. Doesn't Amazon automatically reimburse you?
So Amazon does a really good job of reimbursing you for all these different things that we talked about. But again, there is a human being somewhere in this infrastructure that either designed the code that is giving the reimbursement or is physically pushing a button. Of course, we don't know that because that's internal dialogue that's only shared with Amazon employees. So yeah. I can attest, we would see sometimes hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in our own business by doing this process manually, by mining through the reports. We'd have to put the tickets in, and we would see that reimbursement come back. And if we didn't do it for 6 months or a year, if you're running a 7-figure business, it was pretty substantial. And it was a little bit frustrating too. But again, we've sold, personally, I've sold on Walmart.com, and I've been in many different businesses in my lifetime. And this sort of thing does happen pretty much no matter what industry you're in. So we want to give Amazon the benefit of the doubt. It's definitely not happening on purpose. They want to make sure that all the money is given back to you. They just don't know about it. And so we just have to point it out to them.
Let's say it's a glitch in the system.
A glitch in the system. There we go. It's a good summary.
It just happens. My question, Christopher, is I do get this a lot. Who is the type of person or the type of seller that would benefit from SellerBoard or from any tool for that matter? Meaning, do you have to have do you have to be someone with a huge portfolio of products, or can you start off even if you have only one product using tools?
That's a good question. Yeah. So that's another thing that I really am passionate about when it comes to SellerBoard, is that there's many people starting off maybe in retail arbitrage, or starting out in wholesale, online arbitrage, or they're just starting off with one product. They got a limited budget. But if you're able to put semi-automation and automation into play with your business early on, it's going to help you scale fast. And our price points start at $15 a month. We have a 2-month free trial for the peak listeners and watchers today. And we also even have a demo account, which is kind of unheard of in the software industry. So if you're still just, kind of skeptical about signing up or using today in the slideshow, And it's what I use a lot if I'm going to be doing presentations. Like next week, I'm doing a different presentation. I'm using the demo account because it's just linked to, fake data. It's just aggregating so we can show off everybody's.
What it looks like,
Yeah, because we're not sharing anyone's real data within SellerBoard. This is just used for presentation. So that's a pretty cool thing. You can go in there, you can start playing around with the different features. You can kind of see what's going on. And $15 a month is affordably, pretty affordable for everybody, whether you're a small seller or a big seller. And the plans get a little bit more expensive as you start to scale, but it kind of scales with your business. So I would definitely recommend it for the person starting off or the person that's extremely experienced. And we see that our customers are giving us feedback and giving us dabs, from the smaller sellers that are just getting started to sellers that are very large, because they do have multiple businesses and brands. And it's kind of a software for everybody.
Yeah, it's very important, of course, for sure. But going back to what the session is all about, which is money back, do you feel like this is a normal occurrence that happens on Amazon, whereby I know we said, of course, Amazon is a big business and, these things don't happen on purpose. But I'm sure a lot of people who are starting off their Amazon business and now are watching this session are a little bit confused as to, like, why exactly wouldn't Amazon give me back my money immediately? And a little bit more. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I'll give you an example that's almost consumer based, because I've lived in Europe and in the United States, and my family likes to utilize Amazon for certain things ourselves. So there's certain times where, let's say that you're buying a Christmas present for somebody. Well, Amazon or a Hanukkah present or a Ramadan present or any type of holiday, and you're buying it in advance because it might sell out. Well, sometimes Amazon will extend that return window to 60 days or to 90 days, or they give their customer support people the authority to make an exception on a return window. I would say that that's probably one of the things, and I don't know this for a fact, but I would assume as a consumer, I have given a Christmas present, or I bought a Christmas present for one of my children. They wanted Pokemon cards. When we were going to wrap the Pokemon cards, we noticed that inside the package, the Pokemon cards had been opened and then resealed. And so it was kind of like a weird return that must have happened. So that was an example of the Amazon team saying, of course, we're going to take that return. We're not going to argue about how many days it had been because you bought it way in advance. And that's kind of an anomaly. So I think a lot of times it's a glitch. It could be a glitch in the system, like we talked about before, but also it could be an anomaly where a customer support agent is making an exception and doing a return. And then it kind of just slips into the wrong bucket, and then it doesn't automatically get back to your seller account because the person made the decision that's an anomaly decision.
Exactly. So it's not something that's very, very common, but it's something that you need to keep checking because it's your money. So you want to make sure everything is functioning perfectly.
Right, exactly. And during like the pandemic, I mean, a lot of sellers had to go to fulfilled by merchant even, or fulfilled by Amazon wasn't actually getting there in 2 days.
It was overwhelmed.
They were overwhelmed. So there was a lot of strange exceptions going on, especially during like the first 6 months, where something would be promised at a certain day and then it wouldn't be there on that day because of the obvious. We had a global pandemic. It was supposed to be there in 2 days. It wasn't there for 2 weeks, let's say. And then Amazon, again, they would make the decision whether they would just give a full refund to the customer. If you're selling a cosmetic that's $20 or a supplement that's $15 or something like that, they might even say, here's the return amount of money that you spent, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, and you don't even have to send the product back. So they're doing these exceptions, and so you might see a larger amount of these type of money backs that you're looking for during something like strange like the pandemic, or during Q4, or it just depends on the type of business. But once you scale, especially, it does happen. It does happen on. It's not. I wouldn't say it's common, but it's definitely a business regular. It's a regular thing to happen in your business, so you have to keep an eye on it.
Perfect. Christopher, thank you so much. And thank you so much for all the fantastic information. I want everyone who isn't currently using SellerBoard, you can go to sellerboard.com, you can test out the demo account and see how it actually looks like. And you can use the code ThePeak, so you can get a 2 months free trial and test it out and see if you like it and you like the usability, because of course we just talk about something today, but SellerBoard has a whole suite of other things that you can use it for as well. Final words about Amazon and selling on Amazon, Christopher.
Sure. So I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. I've been doing businesses since I was a teenager. And I would just say that even though the competition seems to get stronger every day on Amazon, it is the best business model for somebody that's getting started in business. It's the most efficient way to be able to scale from zero to something that you can run. It's not going to be easy, but you can run from anywhere in the world. I've lived in Europe. I've lived in the United States. I've been in Disney World with my children, and I've been able to run my Amazon business from my laptop. And my partners and I were able to scale it up to 7 figures without having any employees. It's an amazing opportunity. And if you're able to utilize what Crystal's offering and all the different programs she's doing, and you're able to hook up with tools like SellerBoard for automation and just work hard and figure out the right products to put out there, I think you're going to really be pleased with the results that you get with an Amazon-based business versus a traditional business.
That's 100, I couldn't say anything more. Perfect. Thank you so much, Christopher. And thank you so much for the amazing team at SellerBoard. And everyone who's watching this, make sure that you thumbs it up so YouTube can share this video and more like-minded people can learn about SellerBoard and try to utilize it and improve their life and their business on Amazon. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Crystal.
Bye.